Without a question of a doubt, one of the brightest spots in all the material we cover here is the community of good human beings that has been put together in Canada by Stefan Verstappen and all of his friends who care about community. That's not communism, that's community. That's the good part of the word of getting together and sharing and reinforcing and helping and assisting. And the community up there that Stefan is an integral part of. It just had its Christmas dinner, which we're going to hear about in this hour, among other things. Hello, Stefan. Welcome back.
Hello, Jeff. Good
right.
to be back.
Yes, indeed. Considering the alternatives. Any drones up there?
I haven't seen any.
Right.
No, I have not seen it. We still get the chemtrails.
Oh, yeah, they're not going to quit.
They're on some sort of schedule. Like, we won't get any for a week, and then one day, suddenly, there's like 20 of them.
They know exactly what they're doing. There's probably a certain time period that they know they will be circulated through the breathable air, and then they'll eventually fall to the ground or dissipate in other forms. And they'll restock the atmosphere with death. That's what they're doing.
Yes, that's what they're doing.
Right.
I don't know why, after all these years, there's not more talk about it, but don't you want to know what they're spraying in the air?
The mainstream media is owned by the people who are doing this, ultimately. It's another end of the chain, but it's their machine. That they create reality for people, and if they don't declare it as a real subject, it doesn't exist in many people's lives. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Now, You've got some crazy things going on in Canada, and I mean this. It's not pleasant to read. You want to run down some of the things? They just declared another over 100 different kinds of firearms illegal in Canada. Is that right?
324 firearms illegal, and this is in addition to the. I can't remember how many 200 firearms they declared illegal last year. And in addition to banning all handgun sales.
What the hell is left? What's left?
Well,
22s? What's left?
The firearms I have are what's left. But that's because I've seen this coming, Jeff. I knew this way back when I still lived in California, and we were planning to move to Canada, and I said, well, they're going to take our guns. Yeah. And so the guns that I'm going to buy will be the last guns on the list that they're going to try and take. Because what they've done this time, and it's the same there in the States, is the scary-looking guns, right? So do you remember the old Daisy BB guns? We all had them as a kid, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Now, if we slap an extendable stock on it, black plastic extendable stock and a pistol grip, they would make that illegal.
Jeez.
No,
you're probably right. No, I get it.
It's just so stupid. What was that congresswoman? No, Minister of Justice there in the United States said, a bump stock can fire 800 rounds a second. These people know nothing about firearms. The ones that are banning guns know absolutely nothing. I doubt they even know which
that's part of it. And you know what the other part of it is?
What?
They carry guns. They have guns. They either know nothing about them or they have them, and many of them have them.
Sure they do.
Trust me. All the communists carry guns too, friends. Don't kid yourself.
Oh, they just don't want you to have one.
Right.
So they banned a whole bunch of new guns, and mostly PCC, pistol caliber carbines. And actually, I'd like a PC if I had the money. I would buy one. 9mm.
A little rifle that shoots 9mm is what he's talking about. Right.
Yeah, it's a little rifle that shoots pistol caliber, so it could be 9mm or 357 or something like that.
No, Ruger makes a terrific one, the front of the barrel, right in front of the forearm where you hold the stock with your further arm forward. It twists off there, and it can be, I think it gets down to about 12 or 13 inches in two pieces.
I had my eye on that one. I know exactly which one you like because I'm sort of partial to bug out guns. You know, something I can put in the backpack. And
that's the best one I've seen. That's good up to about 100 yards. Yeah, good accuracy.
And there's another one, Kel-Tec, I think, makes it that kind of folds.
Yes, there's half a dozen of them out there at least. These are 9mm carbines, is what they are.
Yeah, and well, all those are now illegal. Because, well, they look scary, Jeff, you know. They look pretty scary. Well, they got a pistol grip. Oh, my God.
I don't want to say this, but I wish the whole community could pack up and get the hell out of there. It's bad down here, but it's not that bad. In fact, it does seem that they want more Americans to have guns, so when they get their civil war, it'll be completely a bloodletting of unprecedented proportions. I think they want that.
Yeah. Here, what
you got to move down here, the whole bunch of you.
I've tried, Jeff. You know what happened the last time, and I ended
up yeah. No, you can't. You got families. You got all kinds of things.
Yeah, anyway. We've talked about it. Trust me, we've talked about it. Let's pool our money. Let's buy, the Spa Ranch or something in California. We'll all move there. Yeah. But no, we can't do it. There's big families and extended families. Yeah. So, listen, folks, you got to make your stand where you are now. There's no running away from this anymore. There's nowhere to go anyways. Yeah, I would like to go, but not that I think America is going to be that much more free than here in Canada. Yeah, you still can do a lot of things with the firearms. But I want to go for the weather. It's cold. It's cold. It's snowing. I have one of members of our community. He drives a tow truck. So we had some snow last week, right? And we had a lot of snow. He said he was busy, like crazy, pulling Indians out of the ditch. And I've already told them.
That's no joke either, right?
No, there's no joke. I'm not allowed to say the pudge word because I'll get dinged on YouTube.
Don't say pudge. Don't say that.
No, can't say the word pudge. Right. But he said it's been a freak show. The number of in the ditch because they don't know how to drive in the snow or in the winter. First of all, they don't have driver's license. They just buy them direct from their cousin that works at the driver's. At the DMC, right?
Got it.
Yeah, and $1,000 will get you a truck driver's permit, and they never have to take a lesson or even learn how to switch the brakes.
Is that pretty much the going rate? That's a true story. Huh.
That's a true story. Yeah, he's $1,000. And the same thing. Like I have Dixie's husband. He drives truck. They move trucks from one place to another. He doesn't drive cargo. He actually just drives the brand new trucks to some place where they, install a bed on it or
got it
or a shredder or something like that, and then he drives it back. And so he's actually just moving the trucks. And but we've spoken to a couple of people that own trucking companies here in Canada, and they said they've absolutely destroyed the trucking industry here. They will cut a hole in the floor of the truck so that they can do their bathroom business.
While they're driving?
While driving, yes, because they go in teams. They undercut all the other regular drivers. Now, when I was a young man...
So this is...
drivers,
hold on, 1 second. You're talking about tractor-trailer. Big tractor-trailer rigs.
Yep.
And so they just rumble on down the road and they cut a hole in the floor.
Yes.
All right. Jesus.
Yeah, and one guy said that
Third world.
Had to go. Oh yeah, he said they had to work on these trucks. He said you get underneath the truck and the drive chain is just covered in crap.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Can I say the word? It's covered in shit. The shitters are shitting everywhere.
Yeah.
And what they do is they take turns. The one guy sleeps and the other guy drives, which is illegal for law-abiding truckers. And like I said, back in the day, truck drivers, we called them the knights of the road. Because they were good, hard-working, upstanding citizens, and
That's right.
If you ever got into trouble, it was usually a truck driver that would pull over and help you out. That's all gone. That's all. The whole trucking industry is destroyed. These people have come in. They've undercut the regular, dare I say, pale-skinned Canadian people that follow the rules. You know, it's always we were always being very nice here. We follow the law, and we try not to cause a lot of damage. But they're all out of business because they've been undercut by teams of Hindus that will, they won't stop driving to go for a bathroom stop because they will take a dump right through the hole in the floor of the truck. And, so my tow truck buddy friend, he said he pulled the same guy, the same Hindu driver, out of the ditch 3 times in one day. 3 times. Pulls him out, gets him on the road. Okay, he says charge him $200 each time. So this guy, ended up paying $600 to get pulled out. And an hour later, he's on the side of the road again in the ditch. They don't know how to drive in winter weather. So, but the scary part is, and I worry about my friends, especially like Dixie. She's got the kids in the minivan and they're going shopping and that.
Oh,
I tell her,
yeah.
Hey,
I've
be
seen.
careful.
Listen, I've seen half a dozen maybe of these compilations of automobile and big rig truck crashes. They're online. They're on there. You can see them. And if you think you're safe when you're around a big tractor trailer rig with a 40, 50-foot trailer on the highway, you better think again. Those things can lose control. Wet roads, icy roads, frosty roads, snowy roads, doesn't matter. They can take you out in a second. The tractor will go one way and the trailer flips over on top of your car and you're in a pancake and you're done.
Yeah.
I mean, these terrible accidents. Yeah.
That's why I'm constantly warning everybody, be careful. Born and raised in Canada, you grow up driving on these road conditions, and you know what the car can do, you know what the roads are like, and you know not to take the
limits.
Curve too.
I know.
Yeah. My birthday's January 9th, and on my 16th birthday, I got my driver's license, and I got a Volkswagen Beetle and took it out into the parking lot there by York University, where it was completely empty, and I learned to write my name in cursive in the snow. So we know how to handle the vehicle in the snow, but the people that just arrive in this country don't. Not only that, they don't have training and they don't have a valid license, so they have no clue. And can you imagine being, driving a 16-wheeler and you don't know what to do if you suddenly hit an icy spot on the road?
Right.
That's why there's tons and tons of accidents every day. There's too many to count.
I know.
So
they're all being captured on dash cams now. Truck dash cam, car dash cam. Oh, they're horrible.
Yeah, you've seen those videos. I've seen a couple of them too. Yeah. So that's what the report is from one of our community members that drives a tow truck, and he says it's just a zoo out there, absolute zoo.
And not going to get better. It's only going to get worse because this invasion will continue.
Yeah.
Another thing I should say, the truck companies that hire or allow this to go on, they really are criminals. They are making this possible. And there are usually competent owners of these companies, and they make bad choices. And hiring these people, it makes them criminally culpable, in my view, 100%.
I agree. And also, the insurance rates for everybody is through the roof.
Right.
So even if you're not a recent immigrant and driving a truck, you're just middle-class white family, your insurance is going up anyways because it's a spin-off effects. So that's what's happening with the trucking industry in Canada. It's absolutely destroyed. People can't make money, and now the trucking firms are now owned by the same people that recently immigrated.
Oh, so they get it. They get some kind of financial leverage through the government to buy these companies when they come up for sale. and many of them are probably up for sale because of the state of the business. Is this any kind of a revenge by the communists against the trucking industry for taking part in that big demonstration several years ago?
It could be. It could be. Well, the communists, i.e., the special ones that God loves the most,
right.
They hate everybody. So everybody is their enemy, right? I came across this little video of a rabbi speaking about Ukraine and why there's a Ukraine war, and he says, well, it's because, it's revenge for what the Ukrainians, all the Jews, the Ukrainians murdered in the 13th century. 13th century.
Oh, no, see, those people, that's psychotic. That's nuts.
It is psychotic. Yeah. So I'm thinking, here's some 21-year-old Ukrainian man, dreaming of finishing college and getting a good job and getting married. And then he gets hijacked because they get shanghaied, right?
Right.
Into the press gangs. He's kidnapped, he's beaten, he has a pistol held to his head, he's thrown into a frozen wilderness where his life expectancy is measured in the minutes. And, why? Well, it's because the you-know-whos, the special ones, the ones God loves the most, are getting vengeance for what your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great granddad may or may not have done. I mean, this is how psychotic these people are.
I know.
And and then the whole thing with Amalek and all that. Oh my God, that's 3,000 years ago. They're still trying to kill the whole world because of some imaginary slight from 3,000 years ago, and they want to kill everybody. They got to kill the Romans and the Christians and the Europeans and all that because they're Amalek. Okay, talk about never forgiving and never forgetting. So, do they have a grudge against the truckers? Probably. Is there a demographic anywhere in the world that they don't have some feverish vengeance fantasy about? I don't know. So, yeah, that's the trucking industry. Destroyed. And I wouldn't doubt it, too. What you said makes a lot of sense, Jeff, that, they've destroyed the trucking industry already. We spoke to a husband and wife team. They run a trucking company, and they can't make it anymore. And it's because they're being undercut by these other companies. And it's the Canadian government funding them. And so, they're going to sell their trucking company. Who do you think is going to buy their trucking company?
Mm-hmm.
Another nice European family that is going to follow the rules? Or are we going to get these deviants that know how to cut corners and swindle and grift and lie and cheat on every single thing? Guess who's going to get those companies? And you're taking your life in your hands when you go on the roads now. So that's that. And then Justin Castro, so he banned another 324 firearms. Again, they're just the scary-looking ones. And I knew this was going to happen. So the firearms I bought, I made sure they all look like regular hunting firearms. I just have a shotgun, I have a .22 rifle. My pistols, well, there's a different weird thing that they've done with the handguns. You can own a handgun, and you can still take it to the fire range, the shooting range. But you can't sell it, you can't give it away, you can't transfer it. And you can't buy another one. So that's sort of frozen in time. So I have two pistols that are frozen in time. And then I've got two long arms that so far are not illegal because they're really like hunting rifles, shotgun and rifle. But who knows how that's going to change. Now there is an amnesty with the firearms that they banned recently. You can't even take them to the gun range. The pistols you still can, but not the ones that they recently banned, which makes absolutely no sense. But what else do you expect from the government? They know nothing about firearms. Nothing they do is going to be logical or rational. And it's all just to, because why? Why, Jeff? Well, because there's a lot of gun crime in Canada. So let's go after the law-abiding gun owners because they're responsible for 0.0001% of the gun crime. I mean, to get a firearms license in Canada, you have to be squeaky clean. You get background checks, and if you own a pistol, they do a background check on you every single day. Every single day. They've got algorithms on their central computers that if I went to town tonight and I got into a drunken brawl and the police charged me with assault, they would immediately know about it and they would come and take my pistols. They would, because it goes through the central database. So gun owners in Canada are the most honest people in the world. We could pass, level 4 security check from the Pentagon. We're so clean. We don't even have a parking ticket. If you have as much as an outstanding speeding ticket, you don't get your firearm. So we are the most honest, law-abiding demographic in the world. In the world. And so whose guns are they going to come after? Ours. Meanwhile, this past month we had 2 raids, FBI raids, but not really FBI here. The FBI is called the RCMP, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Now, for you Americans that don't know what that is, if you ever watched Rocky and Bullwinkle, you know Dudley Do-Right. That's our RCMP.
Oh, I'm with you. I got it. Yeah. Let's see. Can we talk about, in a minute, talk about your Christmas dinner, the community's dinner. I want to hear about this.
Oh, okay. Sure. So, let's see, what time we got? We still got half an hour. Okay, so we had our second annual Christmas dinner at the same church that we had last year, and it was potluck dinner, so everybody brought their own dish to serve, to share. And, of course, I made mine now. World-famous Papa Stefano's Pasta Salad Supremo.
Right.
You got to give it a big fancy word, right, Jeff?
Yep.
Which everybody loves. I make a big, giant Tupperware container of this stuff, and, I love it, too. Everybody loves my pasta salad. And so we had enough food. We fed everybody that came. I mean, everybody had seconds and thirds. We had 3 turkeys, and stuffing, and mashed potatoes and gravy. For me, I love nothing better than mashed potatoes and gravy. And we had 3 giant tubs of gravy. It was almost like a whole bucket of gravy. As far as I'm concerned, you can never have too much gravy. And stuffing and dressing, and oh my God, it was tons and tons of food. So everybody in our community absolutely stuffed their faces. And then there was lots of leftovers. Now, the nice thing about the church where we have our Christmas dinner is that after 9 o'clock, they open the church to homeless people, and I think they have 8, maybe 10 beds in there. So, it's not a lot, but it's something. Who else is doing something? It's cold. These people are sleeping outdoors. You're freezing to death. They already had a couple of people freeze to death in their tents, veterans, all right? Veterans. And so the leftover food all went to the homeless people. And they stuffed themselves. We put them all in Tupperware containers, and everybody had a big Tupperware container full of leftovers from the dinner, turkey and stuffing and gravy and potatoes and vegetables. And the big hit was pumpkin soup. Somebody made pumpkin soup. Apparently.
Oh, that's interesting. Delicious. Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. Everybody said it was great. I'm not a soup guy, so I didn't try any. Besides, by the time I got to the soup, it was just about gone anyways. Everybody snarfled the soup down. But so we fed the homeless people, and we fed ourselves. And I invited my student, Ryan, to come. Ryan lives too far away to be a member of our community. He lives an hour away. And so that's too far. But I said, listen, he comes to train with me once a week. So once a week he'll drive the hour into town to come and train with me. And I said, listen, do you want to come to the Christmas dinner? He says, yeah, I'd like to try that. So he came to the Christmas dinner, and he brought his lyre, which is a musical instrument. It's a very classic. It's a classical musical instrument. For those who don't know it, it's sort of like a smaller version of a harp. And the reason he's learning to play the lyre is because, one of the things I always encourage people to do, and by people I mean Europeans, is get in touch with your European roots. They've done everything they can to destroy our culture and destroy our history and destroy our traditions. And culture, history, and traditions are what binds people together. And of course, that's why the communists, the special people that God loves the most, have been attacking European tradition and culture for decades and decades. And so I fight against that, and I practice the old ways. For example, I measure time in moons. So today is a full moon, and I say to myself, "Oh, thank goodness, only 4 more moons until the weather gets nice," which means middle of April. 3 more moons, middle of March, I can already stand it. So only 3 moons of this cold suffering, and then things will get better again. And I measure time through the equinoxes and the solstices. I have special rituals that I do. Usually I go out in the moonlight and practice my martial arts in the forest by the lake, things like that. And so one of the things he did was he taught himself to play the lyre. So it's a traditional European instrument, goes way back. And so he came to the dinner, and we planned on having live music. The same people that played at Dixie's wedding, I've told you about them before. They play at the Philharmonic, the violinist, the cello, and anyways, they were going to play Christmas carols. So I said to Ryan, well, bring your lyre and play a Christmas carol too. So he did. He played a Christmas carol, and that was very popular. But it was what he said afterwards, after the dinner. He said to me, he says, I'm so glad I came. I said, oh, I'm glad, Ryan. He says, I have never seen so many people smiling and laughing and looking happy.
Wow.
Right?
That's just great. That's just
where
wonderful.
Do you see that?
No, I don't. I look for it. When I go out, I look for it. I don't see it. It's not here. No. People aren't happy.
No.
They're dying in their soul. Many of them. They're dying from grief, suffering, pain, financial, terrible duress, loss of loved ones. It just goes on. And
loneliness, depression, alcoholism.
There are many people listening right now all over the world who are living alone. They're isolated. And they listen every night because they really enjoy the people on the program like you. They feel like it's kind of an extended family, if you will. And that's such a wonderful thing to be able to be a part of. Anyhow, you know all that.
Absolutely, which is why I've been promoting it, so much. I do consultations with people from all over the world, and quite a lot of the consultations are with people that they're all by themselves. They got no family, because they're anti-vaxxer or something, and so their family abandoned them or whatever. They're all by themselves. Winter's coming. It's dark and dreary and cold, and they're all by themselves. They have no friends, no family, nowhere to go, nothing to do. It's depressing as hell. So, I always try to encourage people. That's why we do things like have the big Christmas dinner, and that's why I invited Ryan, so that he could see with his own eyes that there are still people in the world that get together and laugh and sing and give each other presents and cook for each other and give to charity. People need to see that. You need to know that you're not all alone, that there are still good, decent people in the world. There still are. I know it's rare, few and far between, but that doesn't mean there's none. There are enough.
No, there'll never be none. But this planet had 2 ways to go. It didn't take the high road. It's been taken down to the low road by that same group of people. They're behind most all
people.
of them.
Oh, geez, don't get me started. I've researched them ever since 9/11. when I realized it was them that were behind it. And I went, wait a minute. What the hell kind of people are these people?
Right.
So and then I was pointing out the members in the community, and I said, oh, well, that's Sheila, and that's Patrina, and that's Patrina's daughter. And he says to me, I have never seen a woman more beautiful than her. Patrina's daughter is, Patrina's a Dutch girl, well, born in Canada, but Dutch descendants. Actually, to be correct, their family's from what we call Friesland, which is a section of Holland that was settled by the Celts. And her daughter is, I guess she's probably 17, 18, got beautiful long red hair all the way down to her back, a statuesque figure, beautiful white skin and blue eyes, deep blue eyes. She looks like something out of an Alphonse Mucha painting. And for Alphonse Mucha, he was the Art Nouveau painter. Beautiful paintings. Not so much paintings as, I would say, graphic design, where, and his graphic design often features, redheads and statuesque and flowing robes. Beautiful. Anyway, so, yeah, beautiful people. There's another young girl there. She's 16. She should be Snow White. I mean, she's got the whitest skin and perfect, not a blemish.
Yeah.
And she's got pink lips and rosy cheeks and big blue eyes and doesn't wear a lick of makeup. I got her on camera because I videotaped it. I said, "You're not wearing any makeup." She goes, "No, I don't wear makeup." I said, "Well, you look fabulous. You look absolutely gorgeous. Not a bit of makeup." But Jeff, between you and me, I'm so sick of all these women on, you see them, they come up in your feed all, and they got the makeup pancaked on and the nose ring and the tattoos and they're disgusting.
Yes.
I find them repulsive. And
it is awful.
It is awful, like they don't look like women anymore.
No.
And to see like a fresh-faced young girl, rosy cheeks, does your heart good. You go, oh my God, what a beautiful young lady. And this is not from, an arousal point of view or anything like that, purely from an artistic point of view. Like I would admire a beautiful painting. Some of these girls are, and so Sheila's daughter was there, and Greg's daughter, and Patrina's daughter, and all of them, beautiful young women, 18, 19, 20, no makeup, no studs, no piercings, no tattoos. Oh, nice. And my student Ryan, he was like just blown away. He said, "Oh my God, I can't believe women can actually look like that." Because he works close.
Like finding a needle in a haystack. That's pretty remarkable. It kind of, when you see that, I would imagine it makes you feel good to be a human being. Look, there are some good people. There's goodness there. I get it. Get it.
And so we fed the homeless. Oh, we also all brought a little bag of toiletries to give to the homeless people. So soap, toothbrushes, shampoo, that kind of stuff. So we gave that out. So, you kill several birds with one stone. First of all, we have a wonderful time with our community. People laughing, and smiling at each other, and eating well, and then we're feeding the homeless and giving them extra stuff. Then we also had this Christmas gift exchange. So everybody was told to bring something, even if you just rewrap an old gift from last year or whatever that you didn't want. It doesn't matter. Don't go out and buy a gift. Just rewrap something. And we'll put it on the stage, and then we had this kind of game. People come up, pick a gift, and take it back with them. Now, the next person that picks a gift, if they don't like the gift, they can steal from somebody else.
Right. That's right.
So if they stole from somebody else, then that person gets to go up and pick another gift. So that was a lot of fun. All the kids had gifts, and all the adults had gifts, and I got what I wanted, which is odd because I usually get this every Christmas, and I never wanted it, but I got 10 pairs of socks. I need socks,
10.
Jeff. Yeah.
Great. Did it come with a coupon to have?
Packs.
Was there a coupon to have somebody wash them occasionally?
No, unfortunately.
All right. Oh, this is great. And now, what?
Yeah.
So, was there? How many people were at the dinner? Let me just back up a little bit. About.
There was about 50 people at the dinner.
Good. Big table.
And then we had
all the food and everything, and you'd go serve yourself and go sit down here and there, that kind of thing.
Yep. Yeah. We set up all. You bring all your food. You sit along this long table.
Right.
We put a bunch of tables together. It must have been 30 feet long, full with food. You can't believe I got a video of it, so I will upload that video as soon as I finish editing it. But tons of food, and then we had the gift exchange. That was a lot of fun. And then for the kids, we had a piñata. So, and we had games for the kids because people bring their kids, you know. And so the kids had a lot of fun playing games and hitting the piñata and all the chocolates and everything like that. Was a flood of chocolates for everybody. And then we had live music. The musicians that played at Dixie's wedding with me a year ago, they played Christmas carols, and we all sang Christmas carols, and that was the evening. Then
you're going to put this up in a little video at some point?
Yes, I am.
Good. Let me know. I'd like to see.
Yeah, I will send you the link once I put it up. It might be another week or two before I get around to it. You know, it takes a long time to edit these things, but because I cut most of it up. But I did video everything and everybody, and the music and the gift giving and the piñata. So, yeah, it was a good time. But folks, you need to fight the black pill. You need to fight against the depression and against feeling overwhelmed and the feeling of hopelessness. I'm a little bit sick. No, I'm a lot sick of the fear porn. You know, so many YouTube channels.
Business.
And all.
Big business.
It's big business. And I get a little bit tired of it. You know, it's thousands and thousands of videos. And, what's the news today? Well, politicians are crooked and they lie. Oh, my God, really? Politicians are crooked and they lie? That's terrible. I never heard that before. You know, on and on and on it goes. It's just, how many videos have I seen in the last couple of months where the title has, "This is the end," in the title? They've been predicting the end of the world for the last 3,000 years. So far, it hasn't happened.
So far.
So every time you see one of these videos, prepare, boy, it's the end of the world in 1 month, 2 weeks, next year, next week. Don't pay any attention to it. It's just to instill fear, because we know that with mass psychosis, which is obviously what's going on now, we have mass psychosis in this country and your country too. But in order for mass psychosis to work, you need two things. You need the general population to be dumbed down. Oh, well, hello, mission accomplished there. Every generation loses 20 IQ points, it seems. And the second thing you need to a dumbed down and ignorant population is fear. So that's why you get all this stuff. It's to make you nervous and fearful so that you can't think clearly. Now you're under the mass psychosis. And when you can't think clearly, how are you going to resist the government? How are you going to fight back against all these pedophile, satanic psychos? How are you going to do that? You can't, because you're afraid. Aristotle, I have a quote from him, one of my favorite. He says, "Courage is the first virtue that makes all other virtues possible." And it's true. You want to be a good person, you want to help the poor, you want to do something for humanity, help your family and all that, you better grow a set. You better be powerful and strong. Weak people cannot make things better. Only strong and courageous people.
No.
Right?
The whole idea of an alpha male or an alpha female, an alpha human being, has been largely rubbished. There's not much left. They've been all dumbed down with their cell phone screens and their idiocy that they thoroughly invest themselves in. They don't live in the real world. I talked to one nice gentleman called last night on the program, and he's 35, I think. Works in a profession, possibly carpentry, building, something like that. He said the young people now are worthless, useless. They're not good for anything. He said they'll show up sometimes 4 hours late for work and not say anything. They'll last a few weeks and they'll be gone. There's no work ethic anymore, and he's repeating what I've heard elsewhere. But that's the way it is. Now that, for you young people out there listening, you younger people, I'm talking about anybody under 40 now.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be listening if you were like that. You're not like that. We know that. We get that. And you know that as well as anyone. The substance and the fiber that made this culture and civilization function, it is all but gone now. Gone. By design. By the same people. They planned it all. They took over the media. They got instant access to everybody's subconscious mind that way. And then they went to town.
Yeah. Yeah. And they took over the media and the education system and the government. And they are doing everything they can to make people fearful, weak, cowardly. Because fearful, weak, cowardly people can't do anything. They are no threat to the powers that be. So that's why it's promoted all the time. And that's why I'm always fighting against it, Jeff. You know, I get nowhere. You know, I've been shadow banned. I've had the same 18,000 subscribers for 10 years.
Well, that's the penalty for telling the truth. That's what it is.
That's the penalty. But they especially hate me because I'm always telling people to form communities. That's been my major message for the last 5 years. And that's the one thing those people are the most frightened of. Because how do you think they ended up taking over the whole goddamn world? By doing exactly that. They got communities everywhere, and they help each other out, and they support each other, and they get together and have all their little rituals and fundraising events and all that.
You're totally right. You are totally right. They're doing what we should do. And we don't have to do it in an evil way, but the techniques are there. And look at it works.
They've works.
Done it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The techniques are there. Now, they're doing all this to promote, Satan and the devil, or God knows what it is that they worship, Baal and Beelzebub, and they do it for evil. They've taken over the entire world by forming communities. One community in this town, one community.
And they're centered
in that,
around the synagogue is the center of the community. That's what holds it together.
Yeah, which would if I was ever made absolute dictator, that's the first thing I would target is the synagogues. I would tear them all down because it's a cancer in every city. These things, but what if? And that's why also all these secret societies and they have to swear an oath to secrecy. Anytime you have to belong to something that requires you to swear an oath to secrecy, you know you're on the wrong side. Our community.
That's the truth.
It's true, yeah.
Oh,
what?
Yeah.
What's secret? What has to be kept secret?
Right.
Because
Bad
you're helping
things.
people?
Yeah.
Bad things have to be kept secret. That's why. So, and we know who it is. It's the Masons. Oh, yeah, the Masons are behind it all. Well, the Masons are just another front, another puppet, another false face that the real powers hide behind. But that's why they have all these, these oaths to secrecy. And there's not just the Masons. There's another dozen clones of the Masons, that all run basically the same way.
A lot of secret societies out there.
Lots of secret societies. And, it's a secret. You must swear the oath of secrecy. And, go away, I've followed spiritual paths my whole life, Jeff. And it's always, it's the secret teachings that will make you enlightened. Really? Then why is it secret? You know, if this teaching is going to wake people up and bring them closer to God and the universe and make their lives better, why is it a secret? What's the big deal about that? You know, so it's just bullshit. But look, that's how they took over the world. Now, you want to take the world back. You want to go back to the way it was in the 1960s, which wasn't perfect, but oh my God, compared to now, those are halcyon days, right? Those were wonderful times, the 60s and 70s. I grew up then, and men were men.
Oh, yeah. It's true.
Or if I used the joke, men were men and sheep were nervous. But
sheep are scared. That's right. That's the joke.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. All right, we have about 3 minutes to do wrap it up with a nice Christmas message for people. And you just experienced that. Message. See, you had that. You had a wonderful Christmas function with your community. And nobody listening to speak of will have that kind of blessing to experience. They could if they organized it. And I would urge all of you to try to do that. Now, that said, I would also urge people, although it's hard to eat while wearing a mask, but keep in mind that many of the people are out there, and 80% or better, 90 some say, are injected and they are shedding. So it's a difficult thing. But I hope somehow, even if it's if it's done online somehow, a virtual get-together where everybody gets together on one big, what do you call it when you can see people on these things? I don't remember. There's a name for it.
Group chat.
Whatever, yeah.
Zoom
do something.
Chat.
Do something to reach out. Because that's what they don't want. They don't want us to reach out with goodness. They don't.
They want to keep us separated. And so, what do I recommend? I recommend the cookie strategy. We talked about this before.
That's nice. I like that.
There's a couple of Mennonite women that belong to our community. Now, our community is made up of all kinds of different religions. Unfortunately, no special chosen people. But, we got Mennonites, we got some Amish, we got some Baptists, we got, a little bit of everything. There's a couple of Catholics that I always tease. Keep the Catholics away from the bonfire. They're liable to throw somebody in. And I am personally not a Christian, but Christmas is our tradition, Jeff. It's the tradition of the Northern European peoples, the Germans, the Slavs, and the Dutch, the Swedes, the Danes, the Norways, the English, the French. This is our tradition. So I celebrate Christmas. I don't celebrate because, I'm waiting for Jesus to save me. I celebrate because this is our ancient tradition that goes back thousands of years. And because I believe in, maintaining our traditions. So a couple of the Mennonite women here, they cook turkeys and they invite people over that don't have family.
That's the
for
way
Christmas
to do it.
dinner.
That's
anybody
nice.
can come, whether they know them or not, so long as somebody from our community recommends them. And I know a lot of elderly women that live by themselves in the apartment.
Sure.
I know they don't have family. I never see them with family and all that. They're always by themselves. Well, cook a turkey, put it in the Tupperware container, and go and bring it to them. There, boom. It's not that difficult, and the difference it makes, the happiness it brings people, and it helps bring people together. I had the neighbor downstairs here. I talk to him once in a while. He's got a couple of dogs. The other day he says to me, "Oh, by the way, if you ever need any money, you can come and ask me." What? I said, "What do you mean? I can borrow money?" He says, "Listen, if you need it, I can help you." Why would that happen, Jeff? Why would that happen? Because I'm good to my neighbors. I get to know them. Yeah. I do little things for them. I'm friendly. I'm happy. I always have treats for his dogs.
It's not hard to be kind. It isn't.
It isn't. And people respond to that. And listen, that's what we have to do. Look after each other and help each other. And like I said, the cookie strategy. Yeah, you can't organize a big Christmas dinner with people. So make something, even if it's not a turkey. Okay, maybe that's asking too much. then, make a pumpkin pie. Bring them a pumpkin pie, leave it on their doorstep, whatever. This is how we get back together again, and this is how we should celebrate Christmas. Never mind all the Christian stuff. Just be good and generous.
Golden rule takes care of all of it.
Yep,
it really does.
Exactly. And so, folks, if you want to know more about building communities, please go to my website, Forming Communities, one word, formingcommunities.com. My old website has been taken down. They're after me, Jeff. They took out my website.
I'm sorry. Well, go to formingcommunities.com. Forming Communities. Yes. Very good. All right, my friend.
Books will be there, and you can learn about how to build a community.
That's the biggest gift of all. That's a great Christmas gift. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stefan. Merry Christmas to you and all of your wonderful people up there. I know many are listening, and you're setting quite an example for the rest of us. And I hope
just
some
one
of the
last
people
thing
down here can do it. Yeah.
Happy birthday to Jasmine. She's a big fan of your show.
Very good. All right. Happy birthday, Jasmine, indeed. Okay.
Okay,
all right,
thanks, Jeff.
Take good care of yourself.
Talk to you next month.
Okay. Good night. Stefan Verstappen. That's it for Friday. So we have the weekend ahead. Let's plan and make good things happen. And again, it's just the little things, little tiny things that people will remember. Make their day. If you make their day, you'll make your own day. It's not hard. All right, we'll talk to you on Monday. The network will be rolling along all weekend. Hal Turner is on the network now, and we have another one that's coming next month, another great ad. We're trying to bring all the people. I'm trying to bring all the people who are on the same page as you are together, who are in broadcasting. Good ones. So we're working on that. Okay, have a good weekend, and we'll talk soon.